You
You
recording?
recording?
Yep, I am.
Recording?
Go ahead.
We're all set, Jeff?
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, why don't we get started? Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the February meeting of the Town of Brighton Planning Board. This meeting is virtual, and we will still be presenting all of our plans and the applications and asking applicants to present their the applications that they've got, and whether it's the applicant or their consultants or agents. And then we will open up the questioning to the board members. And then once board members have asked applicants questions, then we do open it up to the public. And we would ask that you would kindly raise your hand if you're interested in participating. If you don't know how to do that, I might ask Jeff to help with that, or you can just wave your arms frantically and we'll hopefully catch you and be able to let you in and make some comments. I'd like to introduce the board, even though we do a roll call after this. I'm Bill Price, and I live in the Roselawn neighborhood. I'm the chairman. Laura Civiletti that's on the board, Karen Altman, Pam Delaney, David Fader, Jason Babcock Steiner, and am I forgetting any board members? Yeah, John Osowski. You were hiding up there, John. And Ramsey Boehner is our secretary, town planner. He's secretary to the planning board. Our planning board attorney is Ken Gordon. And Jeff, I don't know if everybody can see you, but Jeff Frisch is handling the technology side of things for the town tonight. So now that I've made that introduction, we do have to technically call the roll for recording purposes. Ramsey, will you please call the roll?
Member Altman. Price.
Here.
Fader.
Here.
Civiletti.
Here.
Delaney.
Here.
Babcock Steiner.
Here.
Osowski.
Here.
All present.
All right, thank you. We do have meeting minutes from our December 16th meeting. And let's see, we also have the December 20th, I'm sorry, the January 20th meeting.
Yes, we do.
Do I have a motion to approve the December 16th, 2020 planning board meeting minutes?
I'll move, this is John, I'll move that we approve the December planning board minutes.
Osowski moves.
Second.
Civiletti
All right, moved and
seconds.
seconded. Any other discussion, edits? Okay, Ramsey, call the roll on that, please.
Altman.
Aye.
Price.
Aye.
Fader.
Abstain.
Civiletti.
Aye.
Delaney.
Aye.
Babcock Steiner.
Aye.
Osowski.
Aye.
Minutes approved.
Thank you. We also have January 20th meeting minutes. Could I get a motion to approve the?
I'll move approval.
I'll second.
I got, that Civiletti makes the motion. Fader seconds it.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, Ramsey, please call the roll.
Osowski.
Aye.
Babcock Steiner.
Aye.
Delaney.
Aye.
Civiletti.
Aye.
Fader.
Aye.
Price.
Aye.
Altman.
Did you?
Aye.
Yep.
Thank you. Minutes approved.
Okay, thank you. Ramsey, we have apparently two public hearings tonight. And one has two different numbers, I believe. But were the public hearings for tonight's meeting properly advertised?
Yes, before we start the evening, we should announce that application 9PMB1 20, the application of Baptist Temple owner and Clover Park Properties LLC has requested an adjournment to the March 17th Planning Board meeting. The meeting has been properly advertised in the Brighton Pittsburgh Post of February 11th, 2021.
All right, thank you. We'll hear those applications now. The first application is 2P0121 application. I see your first name is Nelson, and sir, I'm going to do nothing but butcher your name. So this is Mr. Keogh and his wife, owners. This is for a EPOD permit, woodlot EPOD approval to remove trees with decay and trees which pose danger to the property and neighboring properties, and to clear brush on the property located at 440 French Road.
Good evening, Bill. Tom Fromberger, MRB Group.
Tom, how are you?
Tom,
Doing
how are
good.
you?
Doing good. The owner, Folk Hoy, and his son, Nelson, are also online here. And I don't know if they've been unmuted.
Just want to say that that was actually the best pronunciation of our name in the last 15 years that I've heard.
Well, thank you very much. I've been stressing over this one all day.
You did good, Bill.
He did good. As our letter outlines, the owners received 2 violation letters for not obtaining the necessary permits for clearing brush and removing trees of significant decay on their property. They actually had 2 contractors doing the work. The first contractor performed clearing around the house and removed approximately 14 trees. The remaining brush clearing was performed by the second contractor, who strictly removed the brush, took down additional diseased trees, and began digging a borrow pit in the back of the property, which would be on the right side of the screen. That was not the intention. The owners were unaware that they were in an EPOD permit. They have done similar clearing in the past, approximately 20 years ago. And as soon as they found out and were notified, they stopped. And so our involvement was to come in and do an assessment of what had been removed and to evaluate the existing trees. And looking at them, you could clearly tell that the roots, what was left of the stump, which was cut close to the ground, was diseased on a bunch of them. There were still branches and debris that had been chipped up, and we also got a letter from the first contractor who did the tree removal, and he also confirmed that these were trees that did need to come down. In regard to what is left to be done on the site, up in the front of the property are 2 pine trees. One is leaning towards the neighboring property. The other is up closer to the house. Those are still need to come down as they pose a threat and are just diseased. The owner would like to install a wood fence in similar look to his existing one, which is shown in the dashed line at the bottom of the screen there. It's approximately extended from the rear lot where it ends up to just to the north face of the clearing on the existing neighbor's house. That's kind of the overview of our project.
Okay, Tom. So the additional trees to be cut down are labeled on this with the X on them.
That is correct. Yep. just two
And-
pine trees.
Okay, and the others were the ones that had already been.
Removed.
There was something, I think, in one of the reports that said the material was chipped and left on site. Is that, or was that buried in the borrow pit?
The majority of it was chipped on site. Some of the trees around the house were removed initially. But in the back of the borrow pit is remaining branches and some logs that were cut up. Those were pushed into it. Those need to be pulled out of there. The topsoil and subsoil pushed back into the hole filled. And then we're proposing that they put down seed and that they use the chippings as cover over it.
Okay. Ramsey, could you just offer a little background on the notification and process that you went through on this, or the
Well,
town-
a couple of things is that as they said, they weren't aware of the need of the permits. They did stop work. They did hire the contractor. I told them to make sure that they made the application. If there was any additional work that they were planning to do, now would be the time to let the town know what their intentions were. The matter has been adjourned. The contractor that was part of it is no longer working on the project and has resolved the matter with the town. And right now, what they need is the Environmental Overlay Protection District permit for what they did in the EPOD. They also need a excavation and clearing permit from the town due to the size of the property. Not all the trees that were removed were in the EPOD. The ones that additional trees that they want to remove are not in the EPOD. They are subject to the excavation and clearing ordinance. So what we're understanding that this is all the work that they want to do. Tom, if I'm incorrect on that, if you could correct me.
No, you are correct, Ramsey. That's the only work that they would like to do.
Tom, I have what is going to happen to the stumps of the trees that were removed? Are you planning to brine them?
I'll let folks and Nelson speak up. And my understanding is that they're going to leave them as they are. There wasn't an intention to cause additional soil or site disturbance.
are they accessible? I mean, they were accessible to cut down, but are they accessible to a
They
grinder?
they are accessible for a stump grinder.
Okay.
Is there any other additional clearing of trees or brush that you're proposing as part of the project?
No additional tree clearing for the fence construction. There may be some minor additional brush clearing, but the real intention is to now knowing the sensitivity of the area is just to work with what they have and complete the fence installation.
Tom, what is the condition of the ground cover in the areas where the work has occurred? It's a little hard with the snow. I know you sent some pictures.
Yeah, the ground cover consists of a mix of grass, moss. There's obviously where the brush was cut, they've just been cut flush to the surface, so there is no soil disturbance. There you go, moss, leaf litter. And then there's also the mulch and chippings, which are scattered further out on the site. There's an example. So this picture is in the far back of the property. And as you can see, the trees have been kind of mulched and shredded in the back there. So brush hogged, a typical brush hog. That is a picture of the excavation, the pit, and you can see the brush pile in the back. Our intention would be the contractor would come in, continue chipping that up, and then would put that on top of the seed and soil area. You can still see there's a significant amount of trees. The trees really weren't removed. The only trees that were intended to get removed were ones that were significantly diseased.
Does the installation of the proposed fence require any removal of trees?
No, it doesn't. I did look down that line. If the tree is in the way, they can work around it. They've actually done that in the past. They are very sensitive to the tree preservation. And they accommodated initially when they constructed the fence, they built it around one of the trees.
They're going to be able to restore the burrow pit to like the original grade, Tom?
Yes, I don't see that as an issue at all. The grades back there are relatively flat and easily accommodatable.
And how does the equipment get back there?
There's enough space. There is an area where they would need to clear or cut down trees. There's adequate spacing between the existing trees. They got the equipment back there to begin with to cut down and the brush. So it was a typical construction vehicle size that drove back with tracks or rubber wheels.
Do you know what type of equipment's going to be used?
I don't, because a contractor has not been selected to complete this work yet.
Now, what will happen to that access road that go, or, path back to the burrow pit? How's that going to be restored?
I'm not anticipating a lot of disturbance through that just because of the ground cover that exists out there. If there is a need for restoration, it would again be, seed and straw or seed and wood chippings.
What is the area of your disturbance on this project?
The burrow pit is approximately 1,500 square feet in size. The length back to that is about 560 so feet times around an 8-foot wide path, plus maybe some additional clearing in other areas that have been disturbed. So we're under 10,000 square feet of total disturbance. In our seeker, we put in just kind of a brush clearing square footage, and that was listed at the 3.73 acres.
And that was for the brush, but your actual disturbance was what you just said. Is that right?
Yes.
I understood you right. Okay. The last thing I have is just a comment. Any further work that will be done on the property as far as tree services need to be registered with the town. And that's more of a statement than anything. No one has to respond. That's an important aspect of what happened here.
You mean the contractor has to be registered?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you for clarifying that, Bill. Thank you. I don't have any other questions.
The owners are aware of that.
Okay, I think I'm all set. Any other board members have questions?
I'm good.
Laura,
set.
Pam,
All
Eric,
set.
I'm okay.
David, John Osowski? John Osowski's, we're going to assume all set. All right, this is a
Yes,
public,
this is John. I'm good.
oh, thank you, John. This is a public hearing. Is there anybody in the audience that cares to address this application?
If you could raise your hand with the raise hand command, so we know that you're out there, that would be great.
I don't see anybody.
Okay,
Bill, this is Ken Gordon.